In this video, I'm walking you through a two-story plan that's open concept and has an incredible view right off the backyard. Stay tuned. Now, this is the 510 plan with Highland Homes. It is for sale. We have 4 bedrooms, 3 full bathrooms, 2 half bathrooms. We're over 3,200 square feet, and this home has a 3-car garage. Now, as I showed you in the main living area, we are open to the second story, and you're also open to the second story right when you walk in through the front door. And we're gonna go right out to the main living area because you have to see those tall ceilings one more time. And then I wanna hear from you on what you thought about the design upgrades that are in here. Now, one thing I can say for sure, aside from the design upgrades like the cabinets and the countertops that you see here, which you're gonna see in the kitchen as well, I think this view and the windows going all the way up to the ceiling are incredible. I'm gonna show you that view from so many different angles in this home. I'm gonna focus on upgrades and this plan. And if you like this home, it is for sale under $790,000. If you wanna choose your own upgrades, there are multiple opportunities to build with Highland in this community called Parkside on the River. Now, I'm going to talk about that later on in the video because I've represented clients with 20 different builders, and my name's Raj Sahu. I'll give you the perspective of so many buyers that walk through these types of homes. Now, what so many buyers tell me they want in their kitchen is a contrast against the kitchen island against everything else. And that's exactly what they did here with two-tone kitchen cabinets. You have this tan color on the kitchen island. You have incredible movement running through the countertops. And then I think you see the color and the movement in that countertop pulled out by the kitchen backsplash above this 5-burner gas stovetop. And we do have an under cabinet vent hood. I like how the hardware is dark, the faucet is dark, and the pendant lights above the kitchen island are also dark, providing a little bit more of a contrast all above this apron sink. Now, as I look back up, you might notice there are no neighbors through those windows. And that's usually when I see that, it's because they haven't built a home yet. But in this home, it's unique where there's a cul-de-sac right off of that side, as you can see by that pickup truck. And so your neighbors are actually further back down that side, giving you a little bit more privacy down that dining area. Now, what I like about this dining area is going to be the butler's pantry. So I know this is tough to imagine if on an empty home, but if you need this home staged, just reach out to me. I do have a virtual tour of that walkthrough. But if you can imagine a dining table right here, you have this great butler's pantry area with some X's for wine. You got the glass insert on the upper cabinets. Lots of opportunities for design in that butler's pantry area. And I think this kitchen does a great job of standing out and providing some good design elements that are here. Now, I will show you the living room next that has that incredible view. But while we're here, I want to show you that pantry area. And then we have an oven and a built-in microwave, and then a cabinet wrap for the refrigerator. Now, getting to the living room, what I love most about this living room is the tall ceilings and the view that's right off my right shoulder. So if you can take a look at that floor outlet, just imagine a recliner right here, your TV's up on the wall. You have great design that we just saw in that dining area off your left shoulder, and then off your right shoulder is this incredible view. I say it often in a lot of my videos, this is why tall ceilings and windows matter. Because so many buyers tell me in their main living area, they spend so much time there, especially after a long day at work, they want a place that they can relax that feels large. And that space feels large because of ceiling height and windows. And that's not just in the main living area. That's also here in the patio where they did a gas stub out, which you see there, perfect for a grill. And then I'm gonna get out of the sun for a second because I wanna show you this. Tall ceilings in the patio as well. And this is why I love coming out to this community of Parkside on the River. It's because of homes that are on lots like this. Now, I do want to be straightforward with you. They do have homes going in that are going to be built off of that roadway in the distance. But I think you still have a good view here. You're not going to have a neighbor that butts up directly behind you, meaning their back of your home faces your back. And then you do actually get usable yard space. So this is unusual on a lot that has topography like this. It is rather, I wouldn't say perfectly flat there, but definitely usable. And then you have this big deck area. Most builders don't actually do this, but Highland does do a great job of making things happen on topography that's here in the community. And that's why I think a lot of people are coming out to this area of Georgetown, Texas. I think the price point is good for what you're getting in this area. You have lots of job growth south of here that I can talk about later on in the video. But that's why Georgetown was named about a year ago one of the fastest, or number one fastest growing large city in America by the U.S. Census. And large city means over 50,000 people in their population. And not surprised, because it's a fast-growing suburb just outside of Austin, Texas. You have lots of employment coming south of here, like Apple's new campus being built out, 2 children's hospitals being built out, and much more. Now, this is going to be the primary bedroom. It did the bay window option, which I think is fantastic because it adds some windows and this space right in your primary bedroom. And take a look at that view going out to that greenery back there. Now, I will say, when they do clear out for the home that's going in, they could clear out some of that greenery. So I don't want you to think all that greenery is definitely going to be there. We have to pretty much wait for that home to get built out and see what they do. But either way, you have a good view off your back wall, which is amazing for this home. Now, if I didn't mention it already, this home was listed just under $790,000, and this is the 510 plan. That's a 2-story home that has 2 bedrooms down and 2 bedrooms upstairs. Now, in this primary bathroom, I like how we have a couple vanities that have countertops all the way running down that side. Lots of lighting here in that with the vanity lights. And then they did a freestanding tub and did tile all the way across the wall. Now, this was designed by a homeowner. And so this is why I want to tell you, there are homeowners that do this type of stuff because they see it in a model home, they get inspired and excited to do something like that. And I actually like what they did here. They did a mud set shower with the tile that pulls in some of the grays and whites that are in that accent tile across that wall. And then they just kept the side tile light with still some good movement in it. Let me know what you think about that. Now we have the commode on this side, and then we have the primary closet right here. Now, while we're in the primary closet, and I'm going to show you the rest of what's behind the kitchen in a second, and wait until you see some of the other rooms that are here on the first floor. I think you'll be surprised at how much they can fit in here at just over 3,200 square feet, while still making it feel open concept, like a study is downstairs. We'll get to that second bedroom downstairs as well. Before I leave here, I do want to show you this is what you can do as a homeowner, is you can put electrical up on the wall if you're planning on putting a TV in these areas. A lot of times it's called flat screen prep, or you'll see it on electrical plans as FSP. That's called flat screen prep for that reason. Now, Parkside and the River, I'm out here quite often because I have clients that have purchased here, and I'm often in this community showing new homes because it's a forever home neighborhood. It has lots of forever homes, like even at this square footage, 3,200 square feet, there are many communities where this would be the highest square footage home. In Parkside and the River, that is not the case. There are homes down the street from here, over 4,300 square feet, and even bigger lots coming up in future sections in this neighborhood. Now, why is that important? By the way, we're at the 3-car tandem garage, so that's the 2-car, and then this is the tandem space. That's important because if you are in a neighborhood at 3,200 square feet and you have a lot of square footage plans that are much lower than you, and you're the biggest seller in the neighborhood, that's not great for resale. You're going to be struggling to battle against the ceiling on prices in your neighborhood. And also, a lot of those homes that are lower in square footage, usually become rentals, right? It's a good rental product at a certain square footage. When you're at 3,200 square feet, and a lot of homes are bigger than you, and they're 3,500 and 4,000 square feet plus, and they're on big lots, those homes rarely get rented. And it's not a good price to rent ratio. Very few people will do that. And by the way, we're looking at storage. If you recall, we've already seen the pantry. So we got some storage here because we are just under the stairwell. And then we just looked at the utility room prior to that had built-in cabinetry and a sink. So you see some plumbing and a vent for a washer and a dryer. And then you have an area here for a mud bench. Getting back into parks on the river, that's why I'm here often. Forever Home Neighborhoods is what I love touring around. It's what I'm constantly talking to my clients, advising them on the communities that I think are shaping up to have that prestige factor. Prestige meaning in many years to come, what are some of the communities that people will go to that will say that they have to live there because of the amenities that are around there, because it's forever homes like this that are open concept like that when you first walk in the front door. I think this is shaping up to be one of those communities. There are others, and if you want the full picture of what that looks like, reach out to me. I can tell you the pros and cons of each of these builders as well as the pros and cons of these communities. Now, we are in the second bedroom downstairs. It has the same side of the home that had those windows that face out to from the dining room. By the way, I'm shooting that on my cell phone, so if you think those clouds are AI generated or anything, I don't do any edits like that in the video part of this home. So this is literally my iPhone that I'm showing you everything. Now, I do have it on a gimbal, so it's stable and I'm not shaking violently. I don't want to give you a migraine by the end of this, but it's my cell phone. It's not any editing or like major color grading that's going on here. So also the design that's here is very cool, where they did a tile going all the way up to the ceiling. We have a vanity here next to a commode. They fit a window in here as well. And you can definitely put a privacy film on there. So that's not difficult to do aftermarket, if that's a sticking point. And then we have a walk-in closet that's in here. All right, now we do have a powder bathroom that's on this side. So they decided to match the mud set shower with the flooring in the powder bathroom. And then we have the commode on that side. And then next to us is going to be the study. Now, what I like about the study is going to be the tall ceilings that are in here. And I think you can see that when I go back over to the front of the home, where we see some homes under construction across the street, which is good to see. It's homes at that stage that are closing out or close to closing out. And also, I think it's good to see natural light coming into an area that you might be spending a lot of time in. A lot of people reach out to me that are in tech, and they always tell me it is very important to them to have a space that they value, that they can work in constantly, that has a lot of natural light, that feels very large. And I think that study is a great area to be working from home in. But let me know what you think about that. If you're looking at this from out of state, I want to hear from you on where you currently work from home. Now, what you saw right at the beginning of this video is me going out to this area, which I think is nice. Sometimes you gotta, yell at your kids to say, hey, the food's ready, and you gotta come downstairs. It's nice to have at least an open point into that second floor. In our household, it's usually I'm getting yelled at that food's ready, or I'm cooking up food for my kids and I'm telling them that everything's ready. They got to come down. So I'm always thinking about that open to the second story rather than trying to call somebody on their cell phone while they're in the same house as you, right? And then we have a spacious game room here where they got windows that look off the side of the home. We do have electrical up on the wall, perfect for a TV. And you can put a TV there. You also have a media room right here. And this is a great hangout area. So if you're looking for an area to just decompress after a long day of work, It's nice to come into an area that has these dark walls. It's very calming. You have double doors that enclose this media room. So if you're worried about sound getting to the rest of your area in your open concept home, I think that media room is a great option to have. Now on this side, and this is another interesting option, is we have a powder bathroom. So I think this is a good option to have, is to put a powder bath on the second floor, because if you have guests staying with you on the second floor, or your kids have friends over, they're upstairs, they need a restroom to look at, then I think that a powder bathroom is a great option. Now, each builder has to give you different access ways into your attic space based on code. So that would be one of them. There's not really much to see there. And then on this side, we have 2 bedrooms split by a full bathroom. Now, while we're in here, I want to cover a couple of things. Number one, what should you be buying right now? Inventory homes or to be built? If you don't know the difference, basically an inventory home is a home that the builder already has under construction. Obviously, they picked a lot of the upgrades that are in there. So even though you don't really have that much in options that you can choose from, depending on the stage of construction, sometimes you do. If they haven't ordered certain materials, maybe you can change a tile, maybe you can change flooring. I just had a buyer contract on an inventory home. We were able to change the backsplash and the countertops and the kitchen, which they really liked. But we just couldn't change the cabinet color because they had already ordered that. So that's an example of an inventory home that you can buy that's already under construction. And the advantage of that is, number one, pricing. They tend to be better priced depending on the stage of construction. When it's further along, you have a lot more room to negotiate. And number two, timing. So I have a buyer that needs to move this summer, which is only a few months away. I have another buyer that needs to move in the next month or two. And so they're looking at inventory homes because they want to move fast. They don't want to hop into a rental. I have other buyers that prefer to really build from scratch. They value designing their home and picking up all their upgrades, both from a design and a structural standpoint. And I think if that's you, then there are lots of opportunities to build. And that's the fun part of real estate, is looking at various lots, imagining what these homes would look like on those pieces of dirt, to be frank. Now, for some people, it's a little bit stress-inducing, picking all their options, not knowing exactly what they're getting. But I think it's a lot of fun, and I think it does come with a level of stress. It does have a lot more work and decisions that need to be made, more work for the buyer, and to be frank, more work for me. But I always tell people, I'm willing to take it on if you are, because if you get more of what you want, I find a lot of my home buyers are much more excited about their houses that they move in when they can see all their options come to life in their home. And so if that's you and you need help with that, reach out to me. My number's at the bottom of the description of this video. And then if you need to see more homes for sale, maybe you're watching this on YouTube, I post these videos first on my website, which is at the top of the description of this video. And then finally, if you want to see another home with Highland, go ahead and click right here. And as always, I hope this helps. Take care, everyone.